Looking not good.
Today we actually had another company reach out to us and want to send us another one of their little emergency style radios. And this is actually my favorite style of radio to get, and I'll explain to you why. But I have a couple of these already, but this one right here seems to be, I want to say it picks up a little better, like reception, with the antenna like lowered or whatever, but this one seems to pick up a little bit better reception than the last ones we have. Let me tell you about this one a little bit first. It has a 2,000 milliamp hour battery, lithium ion battery built into it. Okay, it's hand crank. You can charge it with a hand crank like the last two that I have. They do have the hand crank on them, and that's what I really like about these. They're like very versatile on charging. You can plug them into the wall, you can crank them, you set them out with a solar panel. And it's got the AM FM radio, of course, you know, and it has the emergency band on it too. That's why I want these radios, because the emergency band on them, because time's going to be here before we ever realize it's here. And we're going to need these emergency radios. We're going to need some type of device to keep up with what's going on inside the world. You know, especially our country, city, county, whatever, where we're at, where we're located. We need to know what's going on, because it's almost to that point in the world. If you watch the news, I hate to keep harping on it and everything like that, but if you watch the news, it's nothing but doom and gloom. And it's just getting completely out of hand. It really is. I just got through watching it today, and I just cannot believe what's going on around us, just around us. Okay, it's solar powered. It does have a solar panel on top of it. I'll show you the radio. I just want to read the specs on it a little bit first. Okay, it'll charge with USB style charger, like into the wall with a little brick or whatever you plug into the wall. Okay, it has a SOS alarm, which I don't know how a lot of people feel about it, but the SOS alarm are good. But like on that one radio we have, that thing is extremely loud, and it goes off every couple of minutes, just loud. You know, it'll get your attention, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, that's a good thing, because you need to know, like, when it's going off. You know, you don't want it down so low. You know, 30 minutes later, oh hey, we just had an alert. That thing will get your attention, and you know what's going on right then. All right, IPX3 waterproof. I'm not quite sure what that means. It just basically means the radio is waterproof. Okay, it has the flashlight built into it also. It has a reading light built into it also, which is pretty cool. That's like an emergency type light. If you in an emergency situation, you know everything's down, all the grid's down, anything like that, and you want to pick up a book and read it, but it's dark. You got no lights. You know, you have to read by candlelight or whatever. That's a good thing about these little things right here. You can low energy mode book light. You know, you can just turn it on and you can read. That'll give you something to do to pass the time until whatever emergency or situation is happening around you is done, or kind of calm down a whole lot. So, okay, and it has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You can hook headphones into it with a little long, just a regular standard headphone jack plug. Okay, that's kind of the specs on this thing. This is called the Condor 1 Solar Emergency Weather Radio. The Condor 1 is the name of this radio right here, and I will leave links to this thing down in the description if anybody wants to go check them out. Whenever I get this stuff, I play with them a little bit, you know, and I keep them on for a while, and I make sure that they work and do what they're supposed to do before I come on here and say, hey, go buy one of these. I want these little radios like this just simply because I know what's around the corner, and I can feel it in my bones. We're fixing to see something we really don't want to see here in this country. So I want to be prepared. When it comes to stuff like that, I want to be prepared. I want my family to be prepared. I have enough of these now to hand out, you know, to our family, just in case. So, all right, the radio itself is a green one. I like that color though. That's kind of a pretty cool color. Okay, like I said, this thing does have a little small solar panel on it right here. And here's a little antenna for it. But as I was saying, I have played around with this thing and played the radio and stuff like that on it. It does seem to pick up a little bit better than the other two that we have. It may just be the situation or where I'm at, you know, at that time. But it was picking up really well. It really was. Okay, here's your little book light. Flip that up right there on the back. Your reading light. Okay, on the back is also your hand crank. You open this thing up and crank it like this, and it charges the battery up. That's what I like about these radios. That's the reason I was holding out on buying emergency radios, because I wanted a certain kind. I wanted to have what I want it to have. I want it to have, like, you know, I can be able to charge it with solar, runs off batteries, charges in the wall, AC power, DC power. But I also want the option of charging with a hand crank. Just because, I mean, you never know, like, you know, if it's dark and it goes dead and you still need it till the next day, crank it for a little while, or hand it to your kids, give them something to do, you know. Let them crank that thing for a few minutes and you've got communications. One other thing about this thing is you can also use it to charge your phone with, emergency style. You can, you know, power it up, and then if you want to charge your cell phone with it, it has the option to right there, the USB plug right there. You just plug them right there and they'll charge it up. Okay, right there's the jack for the headphones. And right there's the input jack right there when you want to charge it up. You take this cable. These cables I stand work with like C-type devices, you know, like Androids and stuff like that. They don't work with iPhones. But all you got to do, basically take the same cord. If you had like an Android style phone, you just plug it up in here like that, plug it, and then you can charge your phone with it. Okay, in order to charge this device, flip this right around, use this C plug into it right here, just like that, and plug that into your brick or whatever into your wall, and then it charges this device with AC power or whatever, DC, whatever you got. So that's really simple design the way they do these. Okay, right here, the on button right here, you just flick it on right here, and that's also your volume. Let's see if we can find something. I don't want to let it play too long. Copyright strikes stuff. So let me put it on the weather band. Okay, right there is the weather band. The only thing about this one is to the other ones. The other one's like preset, and this right here, as far as the weather bands on Mercy bands, you have to turn it like you're dialing in the radio. You know what I mean? All right, as I said, I don't want to let it play too long on anything, even the weather bands, because I don't know about the copyright restrictions or anything like that as far as weather bands. I'm sure there's nothing like that on that, but just in case, I don't want to take my chances, so I'm going to turn it off. Okay. All right, also on the handle of this thing right here, it has like a little compass built into it. Like if you're on the go, you have to take it and bug out or whatever, like that right there. But this thing also, it detaches from it to where you can get it out of the way, and then you'll set it out in the sun, let it charge. Like I said, it seems to be a great little radio. I have used it for a while. I've like set it outside and played the radio with it while I'm working outside and stuff like that. And tried the weather bands on it, and it picks up, I think, 4 or 5 weather bands here on the mountain, just like the rest of them. It picks the same amount up. But as far as the radio itself, the AM/FM stations, it seems to pick them up a little bit better up here. Oh, right there's the flashlight. Just forgot to show that. Okay, right. There we go. All right, that's kind of it in a nutshell here, guys. It does what it's supposed to do. It's not expensive at all whatsoever. It's on Amazon. You can I'll leave a link to this thing, like I said, and you can go check it out and decide for yourself what kind you want. It's just the ones that I want have special things. You know, I want them to charge by solar, by hand crank, and by batteries. I want all 3 options because you never know. I mean, honestly, you never know. You know, if the grid was to go down, you wouldn't be able to charge it that way. You know, if it was dark, you wouldn't be able to charge it this way. But you do have that hand crank on it. That's just my preference. I kind of tend to overthink stuff from time to time, and I come up with stuff like this in my head. So that's, you know, if I was to design a radio, I would design it with these, you know, with these benefits to it. You know what I mean? The charging capabilities, hand crank, solar, and battery. You know what I mean? I would charge it. I mean, I would design it basically the same way that they do, in my head. But I do mine just a little bit differently. But I do like these little radios. This one here seems to be a pretty good one. Like I said, I have used it a little bit, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it's not expensive. So if you want to go out and get like a cheaper option as compared to some of the radios, some of these Mercy radios are way up there. They're really expensive. Really expensive. But these things are here budget friendly, so just go check them out if you want something like this just to put up, just in case, because you never know. Anyway, guys, that is the Condor 1. So let me fold this box up right here. All right, like I said, this is the, where'd it go? Right here. This is the Condor 1 Solar Emergency Weather Radio. And it just works, guys. It just works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. So, like I said, go check them out. I'll leave a link. And hopefully we won't have to use nothing like this in the near future, but it's coming, guys. It is absolutely coming. Just turn your TV on. It's coming. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Like and subscribe on my video. Bye!